Hello, I am Babi, and welcome to the first look on Terraform. So, you might be wondering, should I buy Terraform? Well, this is something that I would like to answer over the course of this video, so do make sure to stick around. First off, Terraform is a puzzle game about terraforming. Yeah, the title is very descriptive, but basically you terraform planets and you have to do it in certain ways to fulfill the requirements of a puzzle. More on that in just a little bit. First off, let's take a look into the option menu. Now, we have some options. We can change the volume of the game, and we can choose to toggle off and toggle on full screen. The graphics in the game are not that good, but you can change anti-aliasing and vertical sync on and off. In my opinion, it doesn't really change that much. The game doesn't look that good anyway, but that is something that is rather forgivable, considering all things. But more on that later. Let's get into the encyclopedia. We have a lot of stuff. So if you get stuck at a certain point and you don't want to redo the tutorial, you can take a look over here and look for certain tools and certain hurricane, whatever. Not too much on that though, because that is a little bit of a spoiler for the game itself. Let's go play the game. First off, fill in your name. I took the liberty upon myself to do this beforehand, so there we go. Let's click on play, and this will obviously make us play. Oh no, it won't. We'll have to choose our puzzle first. Now, there's a few, what I would like to call worlds. We've got University, which does the tutorial. We've got Hexacore, which is just more puzzles. Telos, more puzzles, and challenges, which are really challenging puzzles, and there's not that many of them anyway. We see that we've got 15 puzzles or something over here, and we got 5 years, and each year contains so many puzzles. I think the last two, yeah, they are less than that. They are 10 puzzles, I believe. So there's a bunch of puzzles only in the university, and we're going to get a lot more once you go to Hexacore. So there's a lot of levels, basically. Let's go to year 1, and we'll try the first level within Hexacore. Is it selected? Yes, it is. Okay. There's no real way to see which one you have selected. I guess there's some light in the background that lights up. But yeah, there we go. We'll do the first puzzle. And what happens is you get a sort of prologue, at least the very first level, and certain levels don't. Certain levels explain you something new that is in this particular puzzle. But in this case, it's going to give you some background story. You can skip ahead by clicking on stop, so that's good. You can skip that. That is absolutely great. Now, this is the planet. We see that by the fact that it floats through space, apparently. And this planet consists entirely of tiles, and these tiles have got certain, what would you call this? Certain biomes on them. And they have various effects on one another. They are affected by both tools and weather. And what kind of effects these tools and weather have on these tiles can vary greatly as well. For example, we got the tool here, that's the wheelbarrow. And what we can do with that is fill up ocean tiles. We can't do much more with it, but that could prove very vital in certain puzzles. You can stop water flowing that way. Now, one thing that's a lot cooler, I think at least, that is the weather, or the weather. Sorry. There we go. It is at the moment on hot. We can choose for rain as well, but in this case it wouldn't be too effective, and I'll show you in just a little bit why that is. But first off, it's not really clear what the objectives are, because we didn't start a tutorial world. Basically, what you do is you make sure that these red tiles become green, or at least the tiles with red borders. As long as they have red borders, they are not good. You have to change them. And what you have to actually change them in is what is shown in the corner of each tile. So in this case, we're going to have to change it to dirt tiles or plains tiles. It is just, well, a dirt dirt desert, I think, at least. It's not that descriptive, but it doesn't really matter. So, we have done something to terrain, but how do you actually do anything with the weather? Well, we do this by ending turn. We have 8 turns, so each turn does something. In this case, it starts spreading fire. Fire spreads under certain circumstances. Now, in this case, we're going to have to wait until the fire is at its max potential in order to make it spread. So, we can't actively change the way it spreads, but we can help it along by reshaping the landscape. So, if I were to have made some land over here, which I can't because I don't have those tools, but in certain levels you will get the liberty of having a variety of tools. If I would have made a land over here, fire and forests both would eventually spread. Let's end the turn again and see the fire spread. And the max potential of the fire has taken off. It actually takes a few stages before it spreads. As you can see right here, let's end the turn again. It starts spreading again. And there we go again, it spreads and spreads. So it takes a few turns before it reaches max potential. But as you see, the tile is entirely scorched, but the requirements are still not met. So you have to actually get rid of forests and fire and whatever is present on the tile itself. And in this case, we can just choose to end turn, and it'll just it'll fill all the requirements for this particular puzzle, because we have to burn down the entire forest essentially. I don't know if I had covered this, but the orange yellowish tiles, or at least the tiles with those color borders, it doesn't really matter what you do with these. So these are basically whatever tiles. So yeah, we can undo turns, which does undo a turn naturally. We can undo tools. So what I did with these wheelbarrows, if I were to have filled the wrong tile, I would have just done undo tool. We can also skip the entire level, but why the hell would you do that? If you can't finish this puzzle, why would you think that you could finish the next one? But it's a neat function nonetheless. We can even choose to get some hints here. And I don't think so. No, we can't, unfortunately, enter the encyclopedia over here in the main menu. So, or in the game menu, actually, I'm sorry. So that is actually quite a pity. I would very much like to have seen that, but unfortunately, that is not the case. Also, you have to go to the menu to go to the previous and the next level. I find that very very silly indeed, because it easily fits in the UI. Then again, the UI is not that high budget, but it would be a very nice addition. Let's end the turn again. It is quite obvious that this game it would suit the mobile platform very, very well. Although I don't think that this is actually a mobile game. I don't know. It might be ported to PC, but as far as I'm concerned, that is not really a bad thing. Not in this case, anyway, because it's a budget title for a budget price, and you get less features, sure. If it's a lazy port, it's a lazy port. I would actually like to have seen. I don't know. I don't know. I want to say more functions, but this is a puzzle game, and I don't think that it actually needs more functions. It is as easy as it is. You use your mouse, and you don't use anything else. There's no need for shortcut keys, although it would be rather neat if there were shortcut keys for tools. But that is unfortunately not the case. But that is then only the thing that I kind of dislike in this particular setting. Now, one other thing, if we retry a level, for instance, this guy, for example, asks you, do you want to restart the level? So there's no option to say yes or no, so I don't know where the hell I'm going. I don't know what I am supposed to do. Well, if you do want to restart the level, you click on the text balloon. There's no yes or no, just click on the text balloon, or click stop to cancel. I find this very silly. I would like an option of yes and no. Also, there's then something else. I really dislike the quality of the music. There's no music here whatsoever. Now, personally, I don't listen to the music in games most of the times, but it's very, very good if there's a game with good music. It enhances your experience, and in this case, I don't think it does the job. But all stats are they are accumulated, and you can actually upload your score to the world record board or whatever. Not that I would ever desire such a thing, but if you're very good at puzzles, I could imagine it being something neat. Now, there's actually an option to download puzzles from the workshop. I'm not subscribed to any puzzles, but it's a very, very neat addition. It's something that's great about the PC platform modding friendliness. So they actually encourage modders, which I actually like a great deal. Let's get back to the main menu. Graphical fidelity, not great. The sound, not great either. But you get a bunch of content, and if you do like puzzle games, I highly recommend this game. It is not, it is not there for a high price on the Steam Workshop. In Europe, it's €3, and I could imagine it being $3 overseas. I don't know, but it's a very cheap game, and in my opinion, you get a lot of content for not that much money. So this is pretty much a recommendation. As always, everyone, have a good one. Cheers.